Hi, my name is Malik Tijani, and welcome back to my podcast, where we talk about everything personal development in our lives, everything that's kind of personal to us in terms of what we live with every day, about topics like confidence, anxiety, self consciousness, for an example. Um, and yeah, I feel like we need more people online, especially because just everything's becoming more digital every single day. Talking about these kind of things in regards to mental health, but just in regards to like your mindset in general, especially for the younger generation that's kind of just always online, basically 24/7. So today we'll be talking about um, perfectionism. I'm glad I didn't butcher that, but basically stop trying to be perfect in a sense where we can't even be perfect, so there's no point in trying. And what I'm saying is definitely not like just stop trying and everything in your life and just like do nothing. I'm saying still, strive to do your best in everything that you do, because that's what pushes you to grow. As a person in your job, in your schoolwork, whatever, doing your best is always something you want to do um, in order to reach your full potential in a sense. But trying to be perfect in every little thing is not gonna happen. Like there's always something that's gonna be like off. There's no way you can get everything perfect. And one thing that doesn't help with this is school, where most of us go through the school system where you can get 100 on these tests, and the tests are basically like what determine everything that you all the work you put in. So you could have put in like immense work into this one class where if you're just not a good test taker, it's just like all your efforts in vain. So it doesn't really help that school just always trying to get us to get this unattainable, unreachable score, or it's reachable. It's reachable when it comes to that work, but in terms of life, what you actually have to do is nothing. You can never really be perfect um, at, at anything. Um, so I would say instead of like using the time to try and be perfect. You should value your time more, in the sense that you can spend it with either friends, family, doing so much more than just trying to get like every little thing right. If you see me looking down, by the way, I just kind of have like notes and subtopics to just look at, glance at, and start talking about, so I don't lose my flow. Um, and the second thing is to recognize that nobody is perfect. Your parents, your close friends, everyone around you. You might think just kind of growing up with these people, you see them do all these amazing things that they can do everything, um, but we tend to see the fruits of other people's labor and not really the seeds, in the sense that we never see the struggle, the pain that they go through. Sometimes every day, sometimes probably every day, to be honest. Like we don't really think about other people in that sense, where they're probably going through something the same way we're going through something. We only think naturally about ourselves and what we're going through, and it's hard to empathize unconsciously with other people and what they're going through. So I'll just say like really just try and like you know think about what other people are going through, instead of just kind of assuming every time like, oh, you didn't do this right, it has to be perfect, you always do this right, what's wrong, like just like take a breath, like really try and uh, think what about what they could be going through, because nobody's perfect. Um, and if everybody was perfect all the time, life would kind of lose its meaning in a sense. Um, the third thing was kind of related to that, where you don't push your need to be perfect onto other people. For kind of a quick example, just think of a class project that you have to go through, where there's always that one person who's like trying to get every single detail right, every single time, every part of the project, where it's like we need to be 100% perfect, where you don't really need to be. And that's kind of one thing, like I touched on earlier, that school does not help with, um, where you don't really don't push your need to be perfect. First of all, don't even try to be perfect, because you can't really be 100% perfect in everything. But especially don't push your need to be perfect onto other people, because that's the fastest way to push people away, right? Like when you're thinking about one person who's always like trying to get every single point right for it to be like valid. We just like groan and have like a negative thought process every time we think about that person. So that's the fastest way to push people away for sure, like guaranteed. And yeah, these episodes are pretty quick, but I want you to comment below where you see yourself trying to be a perfectionist in your own life and where you can kind of improve on that in a sense. Because I'm of the notion, I think I mentioned this before in a different video, where I believe we all inherently know what we have to work on, what we have to do, but it's just like it's usually the hard thing to do. So we just have to kind of look within and really take those steps to work on ourselves, including me. I have a lot I have to work on. I'm not perfect in any way, shape, or fashion. But yeah, I invite you to just kind of look within and ponder about these things. Um, and my last point is that realizing that no one is perfect, and especially us, allows you to live a more enjoyable and happier life. And in that, I personally find comfort in the fact that we are all imperfect because there's no like goal or limit to strive for. We can always strive to do our best and always strive to grow ourselves and push ourselves, but there's no like ultimate 100% like, oh, if we're not if we're not perfect, if we're not this and that, then we can never be happy. So I really find comfort in the fact that we can be happy being fully ourselves and being fully who we are instead of striving to be what we can never achieve. Um, and yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for today's episode. Sorry if I look exhausted. I kind of get out. I do these videos every single day. I'm trying to do them every single day, and right after work, which is 10 hours of work. But one thing I'm gonna work on is batch creating these on the weekend, probably in the morning, afternoon, where I have more energy and don't look a mess. So I'm looking forward to this journey, like I always say. Yeah, I'll see you next time.